Alright, here we have the dashboard. I've gone through and I've cut out all the cracks. That way when I fill it in, it'll be smooth. So along the edges here, it kind of lifted up a little bit. So it's all tore out now. And if you look in the cracks, I tried to actually get it down to the metal. And now I'm letting the plastic welder heat up, and, melt some plastic in there and see how it goes. We'll give it a shot. Alright, so I've taken some plastic welding rod and I've filled in the cracks here with it, and looks like I got some loose pieces. I've sanded it down, and I've used this filler prep from Urethane Supply Company, and I need to wait a few minutes, and then I'm going to mix up some of this padded dash filler, and I've only done from about here over. And the reason is I want to get behind the instrument cluster, because if it looks horrible, you won't see it from the inside of the car. So I kind of want to master this half of the dash before I move on to the other section, which will probably actually be easier because it's flatter. But you know, I am a little concerned where some of the corners have sanded off, but we're going to go ahead and give it a shot and see what it looks like. Alright, so I'm ready to move forward on the dash. I've got all the cracks that were Dremeled out. I plastic welded, and then I top coated with that body filler. I don't know if you can see it in the video, some spots actually look a little rough. I actually reached the point where I'm afraid to sand anymore. As you can see in certain spots, I'm actually taking the vinyl coating off, and so I'm going to build this up with primer and see how it looks, and then maybe do more filler on top of the primer if I need to in spots. But I don't want to go into the foam, because once I hit the foam, it means more plastic welding and cleanup, and it's kind of a diminishing return. It's going to be a lot more work, and the net gain from that will be pretty marginal. Now on the sides over here and on the other side, I had to rebuild the area where it hooks up to the car. And I actually took a fiberglass tube and rolled it up to build this lip here, and then I took a fiberglass sheet and actually coated this whole thing with fiberglass. And then I put the flexible body filler over the top of it, and I did this with the dash upside down, so I didn't see I missed that little bit, so I'll have to clean that up. Next is an acetone wash, and then I'm going to go over here to the SCM products. I'm going to start out with the plastic and leather prep, and that'll clean up the dash for any coating. Then I'm going to do the high build primer surfacer, and then I'm going to see what additional filler I need. And at this point, if I'm adding filler on top of primer, I might just use regular Bondo. I don't know about the flex filler anymore at this point, because I've kind of already filled most of it. It'd be a super thin coat anyways. And then I'm going to go ahead and texture it, and then I'm going to do the flat black color coat. So that's where we're at, and let's check out the results. Alright, wanted to give an update on the dashboard. It's pretty much done, and of course when I look at it I can see a lot of the blemishes. Here's a bump. Oddly enough, I didn't do anything there, so it must have just been something that I overlooked in the beginning. And there's still a few spots. Again, I didn't even see those the first time through. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. There were some spots that were real problem areas. For the most part, if you're just looking at it like a normal dash, then you know, those will kind of just blend in and won't be an issue or an eyesore. So if you really look at it close, there are a few spots, like here's one, and then unfortunately, I guess I manhandled it a little bit and cracked it after the fact, which is very frustrating. But like I said, for the most part, very pleased with how it turned out, given the dash, the initial condition of the dashboard.